I'll go ahead and get her started.
Gosh, your phone. I mean, your car.
Still going off? Still going off?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope everybody's doing well. We had a good Sunday school lesson today. And I know y'all get tired of hearing me say that every Sunday, but it seems like they just get better and better to me. We talked about comfort today and how we get comfort and we should give comfort. And both are important. Being able to know where to go for comfort and being able to give comfort to others. I had a good lesson. I won't do it again because I've already done it. So if you get a chance, 9 o'clock, come visit us. I'd love to have you there for Sunday school. Any birthdays?
Well, Katie, when I came in, her and Jed forgot somebody's birthday, and I was pointing to Derek, but they said that it's coming up.
It's not time yet.
Yeah, we got another week.
Why are you picking on me?
I done picked on Brent.
Yes, she has. Any anniversaries? Any anniversaries? Okay, while I'm up here, if y'all haven't noticed, Byron is not with us today. He's sick. Y'all remember him in prayer. Because I'm sure he's not feeling too good this morning. But, we'll do the announcements real quick. No deacons meeting this afternoon like it was planned on the schedule. Wednesday night, we have a business meeting. Still doing the meal, correct?
Was it this one? I think he said we're not gonna do a meal this time.
Well, okay, just business meeting. No food. Unless y'all want to bring some, what was that you called it? Cookies?
Chocolate oatmeal
Yeah,
cookies.
Yes.
God leads you to bring those.
Miss Helen can bring 5 she wants to.
But no meal, apparently, no meal. Also, September 3rd, Lake Winnie with the youth, September 3rd. If you're planning on going to that, I believe there's a sign-up sheet in the back. Make sure you get your name on it so you'll know who all's going. Is there any other announcements that I have possibly forgotten or overlooked? Any other announcements?
Sorry.
Oh, good, it's a good announcement. Okay, if not, thank you. I'll turn that over to the ladies.
We're going to be on page 237, the first and the last.
What page was that, Kayla?
237.
It's not you.
I mean, I just have to play a lot of movies.
It's not you. I'm stuck between these two. Oh, goodness. Last verse.
Now it's different.
lesson about the comfort with the humor and music combined.
Page 141. We're gonna do the first and the third.
Someone here lost and undone. God, I just pray right now that their hearts would be pricked, God, and the burden to be safe would become so heavy. God, I just pray right now for the lost and the sick. God, and I just like to pray for Brother Byron right now, lift him up, God. And let's pray right now that you bless Jed as he brings the message. God, I just pray right now that we hear you, not him, God, and we see you, not him. Try some of them, I pray. Amen.
No
Okay, we're gonna sing fight song today. Yesterday was I'm gonna start crying. Yesterday makes a year of me passing out. It's been a really, really rough year. And this song has really got me through it. And this church, so, but I'm going to say that Friday, they're doing an MRI finally. And I'm really scared. And they're doing a 72-hour EEG on me. But this song has really gotten me through, and I know my whole family through this past year because it's been rough. So you're going to have to give me a minute.
That I love the Lord and I'm blessed to be here today.
Bless you, God. Bless you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. We know there's days to sing God's praise when we first begun. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've known less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I I'm not planning on singing this song, but when we were sitting there during Sunday school, God laid this one on my heart. And my heart started beating so hard. And I don't know why that He wants me to sing this song. When I'm low in spirit, I cry, Lord, lift me up. I want to go higher with Thee, but the Lord knows I can't live on the mountain. So He picked out a valley for me. He leads me beside still waters, somewhere in the valley. dungeon, and the sun seldom shines. So I question, Lord, why must this be? But He tells me there's strength in my sorrow, and there's victory in trials for me. He leads me beside still waters, somewhere in the valley below. He draws me aside to be tested and tried, but in the valley He restoreth my soul. He draws me aside to be tested and tried, but in the valley He restoreth my soul.
Got your Bible this morning. Turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 5. Matthew, chapter 5. While you're turning there, I'll say it's a joy and a privilege to be able to stand up here this morning and bring the word that God's laid on my heart. It'll be much in prayer for me that I dare to say that I get myself out of the way and just let God work through us. As Miss Carolyn said in Sunday school, I'll just be a mouthpiece for God to do what He'll have me to do. Matthew chapter 5, we're going to read verses 14, 15, and 16 in your hearing this morning. And got a couple other verses we might reference if the good Lord being our helper, He leads us in that direction. Before I read this, I want to give you a question or a thought to think about as we go through the message. And that thought being, are you afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of the dark? And I know that seems like it might be a funny question right now, but I promise you just in a little while you'll understand what I mean by asking you that question. Matthew chapter 5, begin reading in verse 14. The Bible says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." As the Lord laid His thought on my heart, I began to study these verses. I began to think about the kids. You know, it's a common thing in kids, young age, for them to be afraid of the dark. You know, they're unsure of what's in the dark, or unsure of what's in there, or what may not be in there, and they don't like the dark. They don't like going in the dark. But I want to give you a little, I guess you could say, example to try to help bring this message full circle. Good Lord being our helper this morning. I'm going to use Luke as an example, and maybe he won't care, but if I was to put $1 million in these woods back here behind our church house and tell Luke if he can have the money if he'll go find it. But the catch is he has to wait till midnight to go, and he don't have no flashlight. He has to go in pitch black darkness out there in the woods to find the money. But if he finds it, he can keep it. You know, all of us, whether you're afraid of the dark or not, I bet be willing to go in the woods after the $1 million. But if I said, Luke, I dropped my ink pen in the woods last night. I want you to go out there at midnight tonight and find it for me. his words would probably be, the dollar store sells them every day, go buy it. I'm pretty confident in that. Because the ink pen would not be enough of a reward for him to face his fear to get in the woods at night. But the $1 million would be considered such a great reward that he would face his fear of the darkness and go back there with no light or nothing to try to find that money. And I begin to think about the spiritual side of things. This world is spiritually dark.
That's right.
And, and as any way you want to look at it, the society we live in is just about pitch black with sin this morning. It's just as dark as it can be. But if Luke would have had a flashlight, or maybe a light to light his path through the woods, he might have went and got my ink pen that night. He might have not had no trouble to go. Or if he'd had somebody to go with him, somebody not go by himself, he'd had another person to go with him, he might have still went after the ink pen that night in the middle of the dark. And us as Christians, we've got to a point, I believe, where we're afraid of the dark. We don't want to go into the spiritual dark world we live in because we're afraid of what's out there. We're afraid of what somebody else is going to say, afraid of what we're going to run up on if we go the wrong direction. Luke could easily get lost back here in these woods in the middle of the dark. He didn't have no sense of direction. At night, trees all look the same.
Right.
And we're afraid we'll get lost out there in that world. But the truth is, we've already been found.
That's right.
The lost is out there. We've got to go out there and get the lost.
That's right.
Just if Luke went back here in the middle of the night and got lost, we would have to send somebody after him. The lost is out there in the dark. But they have no light on their path. But we're the light, or God's the light through us.
That's right.
And if we went after Luke back there in the woods, we'd take a flashlight with us to try to find him. It would make no sense in us going into the woods after him with none of you having a light. Because the chances of finding him is slim to none. Now, if we go out there in the world and don't take God's light with us, the chances of them lost people coming to Jesus is just slim to none. And that's kind of a brutal way to put it, I guess you could say. But I believe in being straight up, and I believe that's the way it is. If you go over to Psalms 119, you ain't got to flip there if you don't want to. But Psalms 119, verse 105 says that the words of light to our feet, a lamp unto our feet, and a light unto our path. That's what we need. We need a light to light our path through this spiritually dark world. We need something that the lost people can see as we're coming through the darkness. They can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. And at Lake Winnipesaukee, we're going up there September the 3rd, there's a ride up there called the boat chute. And you get in this boat and you ride down this long tunnel in the water. And then you climb the hill and go down the other side. But when you round the corner at the end of the tunnel, you can see the light as you come around the corner. And that's the way the lost people, they need to see us coming as we round the corner toward them. We need to see they need to be able to see the light of Jesus coming to them. And verse 14, the first one I read, says, "You're the light of the world. A city that's set on a hill cannot be hid." And I've got another Bible at home, a study Bible, and under that verse it has a picture of a city that I don't know exactly what city it is, but it's up on the hill and it's at night. And all the lights and all the buildings on the city are on. And you can see it from miles and miles away. Now, that city has no way to be hid. There's no trees around it. It's just up on a hill all by itself. And that's the way we need to be. It says in verse 15 there, light a candle and put it under, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but a candlestick, and giveth light to all that are in the house. When the tornadoes come through a while back, the power was out for a couple of days, or some people longer than that. But the point, some people lit oil lamps and candles in their house to try to have light for the couple of days the power come back on. But when you lit those oil lamps or candles, if you would have covered them up with something, it would have done you no good. Your house would not have had light in it. And that's the way it is with God's light in us. If God tries to shine through us, we keep snuffing Him out, covering Him up with something, the lost people are never going to see Him working through us. They're never going to have a light to make it out of that darkness, out of their lost ways. And verse 16 tells us, let your light so shine before men, they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Now, when we do let our light shine for God, we don't need to try to take the glory ourselves. You know, we got into, you know, if Luke went out there and found that money, you know, I'm not trying to pick on Luke by any way, but you know, he would say, look what I've done. You know, I found this money in the darkness with no light. Now I've got $1 million to do what I want to with it. You know, he would be bragging on the accomplishment he made out there in the middle of the darkness. We don't need to brag on the accomplishments or the lost people that come to Jesus, but we didn't do nothing.
That's right.
You know, God's the one that led us to them. God's the one that pricked at their hearts. You know, you may have done what God asked you to do, and that's what we need to do, but we don't need to take the glory for it. And we can't save nobody. I can't save nobody. Derek can't save nobody. I promise you, if I could save somebody, nobody would leave the church house lost this morning, but I can't do it. You know. If you go over to 1 John chapter 1, if you want to, you don't got to turn. I just want to read one short verse. 1 John chapter 1, verse 5, it says, This then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you, that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. You know, and they just didn't stop there at the, in him is no darkness. They put two little words after that, at all. And that means there's no darkness in God. Any way you try to look at it, there's no darkness in God. You can try to find it if you want to, but you'll not find darkness in God. There's none in him at all. But there's darkness in us if we let the devil get a hold of us. And you know, as Christians, we fight a daily fight against the devil. You know, we're on a daily fight with the devil. And he tries to let his darkness go through us. But we need to let God's light overpower the darkness the devil tries to put in us. You know, they advertise these flashlights on TV all the time. You know, these 1 million lumen flashlights and all this, they show them on TV. It lights up the sky. It looks like it's daylight out there when they turn them on. You know, the light of God is just 4 times, 5 times brighter than those million lumen flashlights they advertise on TV. You know, the flashlights light up a tree in the middle of the night, but, you know, the light of God, it light up the whole world, you know, in the middle of the night. If we'll let it. You know, those flashlights, they got a switch on them. You turn them on and off. A lot of times we want to flip the switch to off and not let God's light shine through us.
That's right.
You know, we want to get too caught up in what we're doing and get caught up in the things around us, and we're afraid of what people next to us might say. We're afraid of what's in the darkness. But if we'll turn that light on that God allows us, or God's given us, it'll turn the darkness into light. And the lost people can see how to get out of the situations they're in this morning. That's all I have. I'm fixing to close. As I close, I'm going to ask Miss Carolyn if she would to come just play us a verse of some song. But she's making her way up here. I want you to think about something this morning. I want you to think about 2 questions. The first one is, are you afraid of the dark? And the second one is your switch off or on? Have you got the light of God turned off where the people in the darkness can't see it? Or are you letting it shine bright like a beacon on a lighthouse, you know, directing the ships through? We need to let our light shine and direct the lost people into God, into the church house where they need to be. That's all I have this morning. If you would stand with me, Miss Carolyn plays us a verse of some song. If you have a need this morning, you come to the altar. I'll be glad to come pray with you, pray for you.
I've got to ask for prayer right now. I'm fixing to leave. I've got a husband who's been battling for a liver for over 9 years, and they're fixing to do it at 2 o'clock. Y'all, she's asked for prayer for her and for the person who's on life support that's giving her the liver. Oh, I have praised God ever since they called me this morning for the liver. But please just remember them. remember Gina's family. Her sister had back surgery. And she's in a lot of pain.
Y'all remember my buddy? I'd say buddy, he's like a little brother to, I guess, me and Brittany. Since me and Brittany's been together, my brother-in-law has been friendly with this gentleman, and with this kid, he graduated, Brian, and his dad, Eddie, lost his battle with cancer last night, this morning, and he's been battling it for 4 years. He was stage 5. He wasn't even supposed to live past a year. I think at one time we heard 6 months, and the final word when it first came about was a year. So I've been hunting with him. I've been around him, and it goes with your sermon, Jed. You know, we face the darkness, you know, as us soldiers of Christ. When we get put in particular situations, and we don't want to feel like we need to talk about God, but if God lays it on your heart, you really need to do it. Because, see, I don't get that opportunity anymore. I've been hunting with him. He's talked to me. But I didn't want to pressure him, you know, to talk about anything, because I'm sure everybody, their moms come by his house. I've heard stories and talk about preachers coming by and whatnot. But they were able to pray with him last night. His oldest son prayed with him, and he was a born-again Christian. And I'm just thankful for that. You know, the situation is bad. And Ryan, and there's 4 boys. They're having a tough time. But there is some peace there. He brought me in the back of the room where his dad was, and he said, you know, I'm really thankful my dad was saved. You know, so amen to that. Y'all just remember that family in your prayers. It's the Mathis family.
I'd like the youth to say he's still working with, they don't care.
Come on.
Come on, kiddos.
Go younger.
Y'all be seated, y'all. Hey, y'all, keep y'all standing up. Keep standing up.
And Joe.
Yeah, if we mess up, forgive us.
You're not gonna miss us.
We won't know.
We don't care. Just ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
East
Don't judge me yet, there's an unfinished part. But I'll be perfect just according to His plans, fashioned by the Master's loving hand. He's still working on me to make me what I ought to be. It took Him just a week to make the moon and the stars, the sun and the earth and Jupiter and Mars. How loving and patient He must be. He's still working on me. In the mirror of His word, reflections that I see, makes me wonder why He never gave up on me. But He loves me as I am, and He helps me when I pray. Remember, He's the potter, I'm the clay. He's still working on me to make me what I ought to be. It took Him just a week to make the moon and the stars, the sun and the earth and Jupiter and Mars. How loving and patient He must be. He's still working on me. How loving and patient He must be. He's still working on me.
So here goes nothing. Case you didn't know, baby, I'm crazy about you. I'll be lying if I said
Dogs are new. Like pretty much every new.
He said you can't run out of here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll cut that part off the videotape.
We were going to ask him to marry her if he didn't ask
So I was stuck either way, I guess.
Anybody else have anything this morning?
Well, congratulations, Marie.
If not, you would stand with me. On that, Brother Mike, if he would dismiss us in prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you again, Lord, just thankful for the ability to come to your house and worship this morning. We thank you, Lord, for the service and the blessings of it. We thank you for Jed, that he came and stood and preached for us this morning. We pray, Lord, that you just help each of us to take that message and apply it to our hearts and our lives. Dear Lord, we just pray for all the ones that prayer have been requested. And we just pray all these things in the precious holy name of Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Hey, Jason. Doing okay?
Wait, the music dropped. You did a good job. I can't get on top of it.
You never get out of the
Yeah, everyone